Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our friends and partners who are joining us from all over the world. Welcome to today's special event promoting South-South and triangular cooperation in support of COVID-19 recovery and sustainable development through United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation's projects. As part of the celebration of this year's South-South Cooperation Day and the 2022 Global South-South Development Expo in Bangkok, Thailand. My name is Muriel Lobon, and I have the honor to guide you through our event today, jointly organized by the United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation and the China International Center for Economic and Technical Exchanges, CICETE, in the context of the Global South-South Development Expo 2022. The Global South-South Development Expo is an annual event organized by UNOSSC to showcase evidence-based successful development solutions and initiatives in collaboration with UN agencies and all other partners. The 2022 Global South-South Development Expo is co-organized by the Government of Thailand and the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific, ESCAP, and is the first one to be hosted in Asia and the Pacific region. It is in this context today's special event that aims to showcase innovative local solutions and initiatives and facilitate experience-based knowledge sharing and partnership brokering through harnessing and promoting South-South and triangular cooperation modality at the subnational city level and centers of excellence across the Global South. Our project partners will particularly present the current pilot projects carried out under the CITES project and the Global South-South Development Center project, and introduce innovative local solutions, showcase knowledge products, and announce new pilot projects to be soon implemented. Without further ado, let's first welcome the opening remarks from Xiaojun Grace Wang, the Trust Fund Director of United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the participants. I'm very pleased to join all of you today in this special event of the 2022 Global South-South Development Expo that is co-hosted by the Government of Thailand, UNOSSC, and United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation. We are here to celebrate and showcase development solutions and initiatives facilitated through the important mechanism of South-South and triangular cooperation. The UN Office for South-South Cooperation was established by the UN General Assembly in 1974 with a mandate to promote and coordinate South-South and triangular cooperation on a global and UN system-wide basis. For nearly half a century, this agenda has had rising momentums as well as met daunting challenges. Yet, its core spirit of solidarity, basic principles, and pragmatic approaches have given it lasting strength. It has always been cherished by the Global South with proven value added to development. Today, South-South and triangular cooperation has become a strong ray of hope on the changing development cooperation landscape. In this world that is deeply challenged by the pandemic, geopolitical divide, climate change, food and energy crisis, conflicts, and war, I am proud to say that our office and our South-South cooperation partners have not for one moment lost hope in our cause. The cause of promoting cooperation, building bridges, and seeking collective solutions for sustainable development. Through today's event, we are very delighted to showcase the local innovative solutions and good practices by our partners from the southern countries, connected through the South-South and triangular cooperation among Maritime Continental Silk Road Cities project and the Global South-South Development Center project. Both projects have been established and advanced in long-standing and strong partnership between UNOSSC for South-South Cooperation and China International Center for Economic and Technical Exchanges, CICETE, engaging UN specialized agencies, national and local partners, technical institutions around the world. Facilitated through these projects, cities across Latin America, Asia Pacific, and Africa are working to support each other to boost sustainable tourism, improve waste management, and build smart cities and urban agriculture. Technical institutions are connected to share expertise and technologies from soybean production to managing small hydropower. Knowledge travels fast between countries such as China, Mexico, Nepal, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, and many more. I hope you will enjoy today's inspirational presentation from these local partners and from here to take home ideas and opportunities for further collaboration. Only by working together can we all recover from the pandemic stronger. Only with a renewed global solidarity can the world achieve unity in diversity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Grace, for the opening remarks and for acknowledging the significance of the exchanges among cities and partners of the Global South. Now, we would like to welcome Mr. Zhang Yi, Deputy Director General of the China International Center for Economic and Technical Exchanges, CICETE, to deliver his remarks for this event.
Distinguished guests, dear friends, the warmest welcome to all of you from China International Center for Economic and Technical Exchanges, CICETE. It's a good pleasure of us to co-host today's side event with United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation, UNOSSC, at the 2022 Global South-South Development Expo, which is a long-awaited event for the Global South since BAPA Plus 40 held in 2019. China is a star supporter, active participant, and key contributor of South-South cooperation. Promoting a global community of shared future is the mission of China's International Development Cooperation, out of which South-South cooperation is the focus. China had provided assistance within its capacity to more than 160 developing countries and regions over the past 7 decades, which sets a very successful model of South-South cooperation. Meanwhile, China is committed to true multilateralism and highly values the vital role of the United Nations in promoting international development cooperation. The close collaboration between China and the UN has been consistently enhancing and borne colorful results in helping other developing countries to improve self-dependent development capacity and pursue the 2030 agenda of sustainable development. CICETE is a specialized agency of international development cooperation, affiliated to the Ministry of Commerce of China, and a long-term partner of UN agencies in China. The portfolio of CICETE covers the China aid to foreign countries and China-UN project cooperation in China and abroad. Since its establishment in 1983, CICETE has successfully implemented more than 2,000 domestic and international cooperation programs and projects, supporting China and the peer developing countries in almost all sectors of socio-economic development. In recent years, CICETE and UNOSSC have jointly launched 2 flagship projects, namely the Global South-South Development Center project, the GSSDC project, and the South-South and Triangular Cooperation among Maritime Continental Sectoral Cities for Sustainable Development project, the CITES project. The GSSDC project aims to be a globally focused platform for South-South and triangular cooperation and a global network of centers of excellence for South-South cooperation. The CITES project promotes South-South and triangular cooperation at the city level and integrates the support of local authorities and stakeholders with engagement and ownership. Both projects have achieved encouraging results in integrating resources, strengthening public-private partnership, and promoting technical cooperation and exchanges in the Global South. Since September last year, the GSSDC project has, in addition to regular technical cooperation activities, supported 2 international forums on South-South cooperation during the China International Fair for Trade in Services, CIFTIS, themed on digital economy and technical cooperation, respectively, providing a platform for sharing insights to enhance South-South and triangular cooperation and achieved good results. The CITES project has launched the South-South Cities Clusters Initiative, a city-to-city partnership facilitation platform, and offering interactive spaces on 7 main thematic areas, including COVID-19 response and recovery, e-commerce, smart cities, disaster risk reduction and mitigation, sustainable tourism, waste management, and etc. Through strong coordination of the project, over 20 UN entities, more than 100 cities and institutions have engaged in this initiative. Today, we will highlight some evidence-based and innovative solutions of these 2 projects. It's my sincere hope that more partnerships of projects and mechanisms will inspire great efforts and further unlock the potential in all forms. Dear friends, over the past 3 years, we have witnessed the COVID-19 pandemic ravaging across the globe, and its negative impacts have reversed years of progress towards the achievement of SDGs. The world is facing interacting shocks and crises, such as acute energy and food shortage, delayed progress on climate actions, and sporadic regional conflicts. Therefore, it's critical to tap in more collective actions for the recovery from the pandemic and build forward towards a smart, resilient, and sustainable future. In this regard, the spirit of mutual respect and solidarity that has characterized South-South cooperation since its earliest days can help to meet these unprecedented challenges. His Excellency Chinese President Xi Jinping has made a call for the building of a global community of health for all, as well as the Global Development Initiative, which further demonstrates the firm stand of China to chew multilateralism and the sustainable development of the world. Following such guidance, CICETE is keen and will spare no efforts to work more closely together with all partners in making SDGs a reality. Finally, let me conclude with my heartfelt appreciation to our UNOSSC partners for the continued collaboration, and a special thanks to the organizing team whose hard work ensured the wonderful presentation of today's event. I wish today's event a great success. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Zhang, for your kind words and for introducing the history of China-UN collaboration in South-South cooperation. As an effort to facilitate knowledge and experience sharing among city partners, the South-South Cities Project has developed knowledge products, collecting good practices and innovative solutions from our partners to tackle development challenges. Most recently, the Cities project has launched 2 reports on cities' experiences on environmental sustainability and climate action, and cities' innovative responses to COVID-19. Now, we would like to play 2 short videos to briefly showcase the good practices identified in these 2 reports.
Cities consume over 2/3 of the world's energy and account for more than 70% of global CO2 emissions. Many cities in the Global South are fully committed to changing that reality towards building a better future. South-South cooperation and scientific evidence play a critical role to promote knowledge sharing through experiences from cities around the world. In the area of waste management, Dehradun, India spearheads community-driven waste collection and recycling programs. In the area of renewable energy, Lishui, China demonstrates green hydropower solutions. For urban resilience, Monrovia, Liberia increases resilience through infrastructure development. While Tandil, Argentina promotes agroecology for sustainable food systems. For more innovative experiences, go to South-South Galaxy to download the full report.
We now come to the main part of our event today, where our local partners will share their insights and experiences at the local level. Firstly, let us welcome Mr. Komba Sam, Mayor of Koidu, New Sembehun City Council, and Mr. Ansu Bangura, Waste Management Consultant from the United Nations Habitat, UN Habitat, who will introduce the Waste-Wise Koidu project, supported by the Cities project and implemented by UN Habitat and the Koidu City.
Hello, my name is Ansu Bangura, one of the hired consultants working on the Waste-Wise Koidu project in Sierra Leone, Koidu City. Today, we are going to present on the South-South cooperation in sustainable waste management, that is the Waste-Wise Koidu project. And I'm presenting together with His Worship the Mayor, Komba Machisam of Koidu New Sembehun City Council. The South-South Cooperation in Sustainable Waste Management, that is the Waste-Wise Koidu, has its aim to enhance the capacities of Koidu New Sembehun City Council to sustainably manage waste and resources and move towards circular economy. The project is linked to other 2 big projects, that is Cities projects of UNOSSC and Waste-Wise Cities by UN Habitat. The project has 4 key outcomes. That is improved and sustainably financed municipal solid waste collection and control management. That is supporting SDG 11.6.1 in Kwedu 7 City Council. Also increased recycling of suitable materials, supporting SDG 12.5.1. And also an online city cluster on South-South cooperation in sustainable waste management launched and functional on South-South Galaxy. It's a platform and good practices in sustainable waste management. Finally, enhance public awareness in Kwedu 7 City Council and other cities in the cities cluster through effective communication like webinars and South-South exchange mechanisms, thus supporting SDG 13.3, SDG 17.6, and SDG 17.9. Key activities of the projects are, but not limited to, conducted trainings, series of trainings to increase the amount of waste collected and sent for recovery provided. This training targeted youth groups that are involved to door-to-door waste collection services. Also small micro enterprises in waste recycling, and also targeted landfill site staff on proper management of the landfill and also its operation, and together with the Kwedu 7 City Council Waste Management Department staff. Activities also set up financial system to sustain waste management system. The system is geared towards registering income generated from waste activities as well as cost. We also had the development of advocacy materials to increase awareness, which are flyers, jingles, manuals, songs, and also radio, rabble-rousing, and face-to-face engagement. We also supported the development and finalization of the waste management policy, which was developed, but it was in a draft, and the project supported in reviewing and finalizing the document with recommendation for Kwedu 7 City Council. Facilitate city and institution engagements, that is the online platform on sustainable waste management to promote knowledge exchange through online events and building on sectoral cluster. We also did an introduction of the waste separation at source, where litter bins were distributed to households to trigger their interest so that waste can be separated at source. Also, local peer learning exchange of our SMEs here in Kwedu. We took them to Bo, Kenema, and Makeni to have a peer exchange so that they can have proper coordination and also sharing of innovation. We also organized a plastic for rice exchange campaign to minimize plastic waste in ocean while boosting the recycling sector. Also develop and capture waste data, and this data we are clearly focused on the waste collected and deposited and waste recycled. Thank you, and the next session will be presented by His Worship the Mayor.
Hello, I am Komba Matisam, Mayor, Kwedu 7 City Council. Kwedu 7 City Council, commonly known as Kwedu City, is a capital and largest city of the diamond-rich Kono district in the eastern province of Sierra Leone. The city is located in 2 chiefdoms, Bensen and Tankoro. Kwedu is one of the most ethnically and religiously diverse cities in Sierra Leone. Kwedu City is the 5th largest city in Sierra Leone by population after Freetown, Kenema, Bo, and Makeni, population of 128,030. Situation before waste-wise Kwedu project. Low level of awareness on waste management best practices. No recycling by established SMEs. Poor and uncontrolled landfill management. No waste separation at source, households. Indiscriminate dumping and burning of waste. Thus, large number of illegal dumping sites within the municipality. Low household waste collection rates that led to a huge quantity of waste uncontrolled. Inadequate capacity of KNSCC, WMD staff, SMEs, and youth. contributions of South-South cooperation towards sustainable development in Kwedu City, pilot on waste management. The pilot project has contributed to various local sustainable development goals, improve waste collection rate of the municipality and manage a controlled manner, increase recycling rates by the SMEs, diverting huge quantity of waste from the landfill, thus contributing to the reduction of greenhouse gases emission, contributed to proper accounting system preventing loss of finance along the various revenue streams, enhance public awareness of waste management best practices in the people of Kwedu City, created learning and knowledge exchange for the KNSCC through cities and institutions engagement, webinars, city-to-city partnership. Good practices and experience, waste-wise Kwedu project. Engaging the key stakeholders from the start has been very important to secure buy-in and support for the project. Effective and timely dialogue with relevant stakeholders is an effective way to ensure social accountability, social acceptability of the project. Local content approach with simplified wordings of developing the project advocacy materials has been helpful in increasing community knowledge. Regular catch-up meetings with all implementing partners, KNSCC, UN Habitat, are essential for communicating any project-related issues and ensuring proper coordination to track project progress and trigger actions. Introduction of incentives for waste has been critical to trigger community participation. That is waste bin for households, waste separation, rise in exchange of plastic waste. The community-led approach and time taking to agree and design implementation approach that meet the needs of the beneficiaries was an effective method. However, it requires a significant time. The online event is an effective approach to peer exchange learning of best practices, therefore ensuring strong internet connectivity can foster regular engagement. Lack challenges, however, there are some challenges. Lack machineries for landfill management, limited financial resources for waste collection, operation, and vehicle maintenance, waste recycling done on a low scale due to local technologies used, waste separation at source at the start stage with low willingness, low demand and market for waste-derived recycling products, fewer revenue stream for the waste management department, low willingness of informal waste actors, waste pickers and recyclers to participate in recycling of waste. Now that Kwedu New Seminole City Council and UN Habitat has engaged in the pilot phase project, the contribution we experience from the pilot project, the awareness created in that particular project, as a council and the people of this municipality, it will be necessary for us to scale up this particular project and the activity so that the people will have much needed awareness and support to this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Mr. Ansu, for their excellent presentations. We are very glad to see that the pilot project has contributed to the overall waste management in Kwedu City and facilitated the exchange of good practices and experience on a wider scale. Next, let's welcome Mr. Jorge Ortega, General Director of the National Association of Mexican World Heritage Cities, and Mr. Ricardo Rodriguez Dives, Advisor to the Municipal President of the City of Campeche, to share the progress of the pilot project named South-South Cooperation in Sustainable Tourism Development in Mexican World Heritage Cities. Project was launched in cooperation with UNESCO Mexico and the Mexican World Heritage Cities Association.
Mexico is the fourth country in number of cities inscribed in UNESCO World Heritage List, only behind Spain, Italy, and France. The fourth part of the cities considered World Heritage in the American continent are in Mexico, making it number 1 in the region. The Mexican World Heritage Cities Association was established on August 15, 1986 by their mayors. The association seeks to create synergy through a network structure to manage resources, generate alliance, and to guarantee continuity in the application of public policies around the rescue of historic centers. Mexican World Heritage Cities Association seeks to consolidate itself as an innovative organization that, through its capacity for dialogue, national and international partners, can fit into transversal policies that improve the state of conservation of the World Heritage in Mexico and generate better economic development in cities. Tourism activities are systematically related with culture. Thus, cultural sectors such as cultural heritage, creative industries, and artists are key agents for tourism. To better advance the role of tourism and its synergies with culture for a suitable and inclusive development, we found South-South cooperation as a modality that encourages solidarity among persons and countries of the South to support each other in the attainment of shared development goals with horizontal approaches. Under the framework of the Cities Project, the United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation, UNESCO Mexico, and this Mexican Association collaborated to jointly launch and implement a pilot initiative to enhance capacities of local authorities, small and medium-sized enterprises, and communities for achieving a sustainable growth and recovery of the tourism sector. The pilot initiative aims to develop capacities and skills of local authorities, SMEs, and communities. This will result in higher efficiency and an improved tourism value chain, hence ultimately increase household income and reduce poverty. The pilot initiative focused on the communication of exceptional universal values and built a digital strategy in this sense. Through this project, we bring together representatives of international organizations, of Mexican cities, Chinese, Cuban, and Peruvian cities, and the private sector from Latin America and the Caribbean to exchange good practices and experiences in sustainable tourism, including the particular measures taken to protect world cultural and natural heritage to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. To discuss the role and potential of South-South and triangular cooperation in the growth and recovery of the tourism sector in cities, especially in helping SMEs recover better, and to facilitate partnerships among multiple stakeholders from the global South for sustainable tourism in cities. South-South cooperation has helped us understand local challenges and has increased knowledge on sustainable tourism practices and heritage preservation through in-depth technical assessments and capacity development. We achieved to improve involvement and mobilization of key stakeholders and cultural, creative, and tourism SMEs, following a participatory approach through engaging local communities, local governments from Mexican World Heritage Cities in the framework of United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda. Thank you, UNOSSC. Thank you all.
San Francisco de Campeche is a coastal town located on the Yucatan Peninsula in southeastern of Mexico. The historical fortified city of Campeche was inscribed on UNESCO World Heritage List in 1999. San Francisco de Campeche was founded in 1540 by Spanish conquerors in the Mayan region of Aquimpech. Campeche was the most important seaport of its time. The historical monument area of San Francisco de Campeche and its wallet section are an example of successful colonial port city. It has played an important economic and strategic role over the time. The fortifications of Campeche were part of an integral system of defense of the ports established by Spain in the Caribbean to protect the city of pirate attacks. From its designation as World Heritage City by UNESCO, both government and society undertook an extensive restoration of our built historical heritage. The restoration, conservation, and preservation of our built historical heritage has meant a before and after for our city, which has impulsed the development of the economy and the cultural activities. The forgotten time of splendor of the city resurfaced and represented a matter of identity for our citizens, making us proud of our roots. The cultural preservation, considered as a common heritage guarantor of future generations is more than just an entertainment or tourist attraction. Cultural heritage is seen as resource can be used in a rational, limited, and sustainable way. Sustainability is not reduced to the environment. Sustainability must be considered in all regional models of development in matters of population, sociodiversity, and multiculturalism. Our vision of development is based on our sociocultural values along with the growth of our city and improvement in the quality of life of our people. As the City Council of Campeche, we are the guardians of the city and have a direct responsibility of the built heritage that surround the historical monument area. We are working to balance the modernity with the historical legacy, planning its future without diminishing everything we have put into value. The National Association of Mexican World Heritage Cities is an initiative between the municipal presidencies of the cities that have been declared World Heritage in Mexico and that seek to create synergy between them through a network to manage resources, generate alliance, and to guarantee the continuity in application of public policies regarding the rescue of historical centers and areas that have been denominated World Heritage. The National Association of Mexican World Heritage Cities works to consolidate itself as an innovative organization that can fit transversal policies that improve the state of conservation of World Heritage cities and impulse economic development through its capacity for dialogue with the federal agencies. This partnership has been the key of obtaining resources as a factor of unity for promotion, dissemination, and understanding of the exceptional value, universal value that recognizes us as a World Heritage City by UNESCO. This organization is our strength and the power of joint management that benefits all the Mexican heritage cities that integrate. The United Nations Office of Sud-Sud Cooperation has been a very important working platform for the recognition of good practices of World Heritage cities in the Southern Hemisphere and the exchange of the knowledge, experience, and technology for the conservation, preservation, and use of the exceptional universal value of our cities for the benefit of their inhabitants, with a definite vision of sustainable development and improvement in the quality of life of our people. UNOSSC has been connected us between parties with similar problems and innovative solutions responding to the development needs of our communities. The delivery of workshops, seminars, and advice from professionals and experts provide us the tools to consolidate our task to contribute to the construction of better future in our nation, and especially in our cities. On behalf of my community, I want to thank the UNOSSC for its important work in the effective connection between the heritage cities of the region, for the exchange of solutions to our problems, as well as the support with integral response that help us to meet the sustainable objectives of the millennium. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Ortega, for introducing the pilot and recognizing the importance of South-South and triangular cooperation in achieving sustainable tourism. And thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, for the presentation about Campeche and for acknowledging the support received by UNOSSC and the importance that knowledge sharing has played in this pilot. Now we move to the Global South-South Development Pilot Project. We would like to welcome Mr. Chu, Senior Program Officer of the International Center on Small Hydropower, ICSETE, in China, to share with us the pilot project implemented in Nepal and the other South Asian countries.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Qiu Dale, the Senior Program Officer of the International Center on Small Hydropower. Today, before my presentation, I'd like to appreciate the Global South-South Development Center project for this opportunity to share our small project. promotion of small hydropower in Nepal and Southern Asian countries. Now I will begin my presentation. The title of my presentation is Small Hydropower in Nepal. My presentation is divided into 3 parts. Part 1, challenges and obstacles. Part 2, solution and activities. Part 3, sustainability and replicability. Firstly, I will give a brief introduction on challenges and obstacles for small hydropower development in Nepal. Nepal is a mountainous landlocked country and is also one of the world's least developed countries, with a GDP per capita of $956 and a GDP growth rate of 8.5% in 2020. The country has abundant hydro resources, and small hydropower has become the main source of power generation for rural electrification in the country. Small hydropower technology is robust and can have a life of almost 50 years with low maintenance costs. Although Nepal has the potential to develop more SHP projects, small hydropower plants in Nepal do not last long. A lack of skills and training, technological innovation and systematic regulation, including policy guidance and technical standards, are challenges for sustainable development of small hydropower in Nepal. In conclusion, the local SHP industry requires: firstly, capacity building on small hydropower technology and management. Secondly, technology transfer on safety production and equipment optimized technology, especially abrasion cavitation protection technology for hydraulic machinery. And thirdly, establishment of a complete technical standard system for small hydropower. Secondly, I will share the activities and experience of our project. This project was supported by the GSSDC project and implemented by our center, ICESTC. The project was initiated to develop appropriate green small hydropower mechanisms and to promote inclusive and sustainable growth. The local implementing counterpart is the Nepal Academy of Science and Technology. During implementation, ICESTC organized a team of professionals who supported daily management, evaluation, and the coordination of the project. Meanwhile, the Nepal Academy of Science and Technology identified professionals and experts for collaboration with ICESTC to ensure a comprehensive understanding of the conditions, needs, and specific focus areas to guarantee the success of the project. This project included 2 key activities: joint research and pilot demonstrations of relevant technologies and standard systems for clean and sustainable SHP. The project enhanced awareness to improve SHP management and technology in Nepal and helped to remove obstacles to SHP technology transfer. The project activities included the following sub-activities, such as joint scientific research, site investigations, seminars, training workshops, on-job trainings, standards compilations, and personnel visits. The output of these sub-activities will benefit to the government officials, SHP experts, professional technicians, private owners, and college students in Nepal. Now I will share the experience of some sub-activities. Firstly, establishment of a joint research center for small hydropower technology. A notable innovative approach of this project was the establishment of a joint research center for small hydropower technology in Nepal. which is particularly to solve the problems and remove key barriers to focus on updated and innovative technologies of small hydropower. This activity will allow long-term cooperation between Nepal and China on high-level scientific research to enhance the scientific innovative capacity of small hydropower in both countries. Secondly, feasibility study for demonstration of innovative technologies locally. A potential site for a small hydropower plant was selected to carry out a feasibility study for demonstration of innovative technologies locally, and even for extensive application nationwide in Nepal. The key technology of thermal spraying abrasion cavitation protection coating for small hydropower was introduced in Nepal through the project as a technology transfer. Thirdly, capacity building. The capacity building provided to the Nepalese counterparts was to ensure the sustainability of the project, as advancing in-country skills will aid in the long-term development of SHP in Nepal. Specifically, a 3-day training workshop on small hydropower technology was held in Kathmandu for 35 local hydropower management staff and technicians. And a 2-day virtual technical training workshop on small hydropower was also organized, attended online by over 30 local stakeholders, including engineers, technicians, and college students. Some of the training courses on key technologies were video recorded to strengthen capacity building for local stakeholders. Thirdly, I will explain the sustainability and the replicability of this project. The Joint Research Center is considered fundamental for the long-term sustainability of the development of small hydropower, not only in Nepal, but also around the Southern Asian region. Since other Southern Asian countries are facing similar barriers in developing small hydropower, this project can be introduced and replicated effectively in these countries through South-South technology transfer and bilateral technical cooperation. It is hoped similar collaboration can be continued in the future in neighboring countries, both for development of the conventional small hydropower industry and also for the promotion of more ecologically sound small hydropower by utilizing Chinese experiences and achievements in this sector. That's all. Thank you for your listening. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr. Chiu, for briefing us on the project and what it has done for the technology transfer and capacity building of local staff. Next, we will hear from Mr. Francisco Melo. He's the head of the Center for Knowledge Management and Horizontal Cooperation of the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation and Agriculture, IICA or ICA. He will talk about a pilot project that will soon be launched by the Global South-South Development Center in partnership with United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation.
Hello, everyone. I am Francisco Melo, the head of the Center for Knowledge Management and Horizontal Cooperation of IICA, the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, based in San Jose, Costa Rica. First of all, I would like to say it's a pleasure for me being here, and I'd like to thank our colleagues from the United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation for inviting us to be part in this so important event, the Global South-South Development Expo. IICA is a specialized agency for agriculture, part of the Inter-American system. The institution was established 80 years ago, which will be accomplished next month. And our mission is to support the efforts of 34 member states to achieve agriculture development and rural well-being through the offer of international cooperation of excellency. It's worth to mention that the Institute is recognized for its work on thematics such as innovation and bioeconomy, territorial development and family farming, international trade and regional integration, climate action and agriculture sustainability, agricultural health, safety and agri-food quality, digitalization of agri-food systems, gender equality, and youth. Since its foundation, ICA has been working to promote the exchange of experiences and South-South and triangular cooperation, directing initiatives towards efficiency, flexibility, decentralization, collaborative work, and insertion in networks, focus on process with mobilization of human, institutional, and financial resources. These actions have allowed the execution of more than 1,000 projects under this modality in less than 10 years, which is a great achievement to our region. Thanks to the Institute's close relationship with its member countries and part of this joint work, high-impact actions have stood out for being innovative and replicable, which we have systematized, and right now they are available in the South-South Galaxy platform, which is amazing, in order to share and thus facilitate the exchange of knowledge. Some examples that we could mention are the MOSCA-MED program, which has contributed to detecting and eradicating the Mediterranean fly between the border from Mexico and Guatemala. The ProHuerta program that has promoted community food production through the coordination between the Ministries of Agriculture from Argentina and Haiti, their department directorates and community organizations. And also the SRI, or the System of Rice Intensification, which employs an integrated approach that changes the management of plant, soil, water, and nutrition to enhance productivity and resilience while reducing greenhouse gas emissions, which is very important in our sector. As part of our work to support the exchange of experiences and the search of joint solutions, we are leading and promoting various projects with the support of the UNOSSC and G77 Guerreros Fund. A few examples are the South American Locust Regional Management Plan, which seeks to benefit at least 300,000 users who work and live in more than 70,000 farms affected by the locust in the south region of our country, of our region. We cannot forget other initiatives that have been supported by the Guerreros Fund related to knowledge platforms, sustainable production, gender, and youth. In this sense, for the ICA, it's essential to promote a rapprochement with the multilateral institutions in order to increase efforts to address emerging problems and needs, enhance the resilience and adaptation of agri-food systems to climate change, and providing states with the necessary tools for their development. This is necessary. As part of this effort, in 2022, ICA presented to the UNOSSC the project called Building Bridges of Knowledge in Latin America and the Caribbean, South-South exchange of experiences to strengthen resilience and adaptation of food systems facing climate change, which broadly speaking aims to empower technical networks to promote agriculture exchanges and attention to climate change and increase capacity building through technical spaces such as workshops and virtual dialogues that make it possible to intensify climate action in the agriculture sector of the Americas. In this process, the beneficiaries are expected to be the farmers, environmental and civil societies organizations in the Caribbean, as well as technicians, officers from the Ministries of Agriculture and the private sector. Our motivation to present this project relies on the importance of fighting climate change, which is one of the most pressing challenge of our times. And its impact on the agriculture sector is particularly significant, especially because changes in temperature and precipitation patterns are decreasing productivity, increasing losses, threatening the livelihoods of millions of farmers in the region and reducing national economic development and putting food and nutritional security at greater risk. Through this project, ICA will contribute to the mobilization of partners, the development of action plan to execute knowledge interventions with the framework of the United Nations Convention on Climate Change process, and in turn, generate products to communicate about the networks and actions carried out, document the lessons learned, challenges and best practices to facilitate the exchange of experiences between and among countries. Also, seeking to support the implementation of agricultural elements of the NDCs, like the national determined contributions, and enhancing ambition for greater participation and mitigation action in the agriculture sector. For this reason, it's an enormous accomplishment for AICA to have received the approval of this project to collaborate through technical cooperation of excellence in the spaces promoted by the UNOSSC, to jointly contribute to the development of national and institutional capacities in the agriculture sector in order to increase its response to climate change. Additionally, we are delighted to be part of the Centers of Excellence in South-South cooperation because it allows us to contribute to the international agendas and be an instrument and a great partner to achieve common goals in actions linked to global development through the generation of joint efforts and the strengthening of alliances. For all the above, it's evident that South-South and triangular cooperation becomes an ally to provide timely solutions to existing problems in the region. Therefore, it plays an important role in promoting a more productive, competitive, and sustainable agriculture sector. Due to efforts made in these modalities, AICA has become a bridge that unites all the member countries, supporting them in actions undertaken to achieve development, always adapting to the evolution of the hemisphere of agriculture, responding to its challenges and opportunities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mello, for the introduction. We look forward to the launch of the project and the positive effect that it will bring about on local practice and agricultural development. I want to thank all of our partners once again for sharing these interesting and inspiring experiences. Another major output of the Cities project is the thematic cities clusters launched by the project. The cities clusters are communities under United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation, South-South Galaxy platform for cities and local partners to connect with UN agencies and development organizations, to share knowledge and exchange in areas concerning cities. We would like to play a quick video to better familiarize you with the clusters.
City-to-city cooperation has become a very important vehicle for the advancement of the Sustainable Development Goals on the ground. The United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation created the Cities project designed to identify needs and offer support to cities on needs assessment, capacity development, advisory and advocacy, partnership brokering, co-financing and implementation support. In 2019, UNOSSC launched South-South Galaxy, a virtual knowledge-sharing and partnership brokering platform that enables Southern partners to access information, resources, share good practices, and collaborate. This digital repository has over 380 institutions that have shared over 700 good practices and innovative solutions and latest news on South-South and triangular cooperation. The South-South Cities Clusters is a new online community that brings cities to the South-South Galaxy platform to interact and exchange with UN specialized agencies, experts, and partners to facilitate city-to-city horizontal cooperation and exchange. The 7 thematic cities clusters were created in response to partner cities' interests in sharing, connecting, and engaging with other cities from the Global South. UNOSSC and the South-South Cities project welcomes all cities and partners to join the South-South Cities clusters.
Other than the pilot projects presented before and the cities clusters, the Cities project and the Global South-South Development Center project would like to take this opportunity to launch exciting new pilot projects, including the one presented before by Mr. Francisco Mello in collaboration with the IICA. We look forward to the successful implementation of these new pilot projects and the continuous knowledge sharing, and capacity building through South-South and triangular cooperation. Now, it is my pleasure to invite Mr. James George, the Deputy Resident Representative of UNDP China, to give us a summary of today's event and his closing remarks.
Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the close of this insightful sharing session today. A special thanks to all our speakers. It has been an exciting session to learn and engage on how South-South and Triangular Cooperation is actively advancing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and improving lives of communities all across the Asia-Pacific region. There is an urgent need for countries to come together pragmatically to meet the critical development needs of our times and jointly co-design and resolve crucial existential challenges that faces humanity. This has never been more important as our world currently faces multiple crises. Last year, as many as 163 million people slid back into poverty due to COVID-19, reversing 6 years of development progress. The climate crisis is deepening, and its potential for devastation is undeniable. This past month alone, we have seen unprecedented flooding in Pakistan, searing heat waves in southern China, and a severe drought in the Horn of Africa. The data and science all points to a troubling present and a challenging future ahead. These enduring challenges are now meeting fresh ones. The rising food and energy prices due to conflict and uncertainty have led to millions globally grappling with the greatest cost of living crisis in a generation. If we are to meet the goals of the 2030 Agenda, the world's best chance to secure a livable planet and a sustainable future for all, we urgently need to get back on track. Our recovery from the pandemic and other disasters is an opportunity for us to ensure that our future development is inclusive, resilient, and sustainable. One lesson learned from the COVID-19 pandemic is that international cooperation can help to marshal the much-needed resources and bridge the knowledge gaps. In the same vein, promoting greater collaboration, partnership, and solidarity between countries through South-South and Triangular Cooperation is a key criteria to accelerate sustainable development. The shared experiences and insights from the Global South, as we heard today, is critical to ensure that we can explore and co-design solutions that best suit the development needs and context of the people that we serve. To this end, UNDP is proud to have hosted UNOSSC since 1974 with its unique mandate to advocate for and coordinate South-South and Triangular Cooperation on a global and UN system-wide basis. UNDP is happy to have worked closely with UNOSSC, and the Cities Project is one such example. During the height of COVID-19 pandemic and the global shortage, UNDP country officers globally rallied together and supported southern partner countries to mobilize and organize logistics to access PPE and other life-saving medical equipment. This work continues today through dedicated operational support. I'm also pleased to note UNDP's global collaboration with UNOSSC's Cities Project continues through today's launch. I look forward to our UNDP colleagues globally working closely with UNOSSC and the national stakeholders and ensuring effective experience sharing and technology transfer, notably in the areas of disaster risk reduction, sustainable energy, and low carbon transportation. Only through the sharing of our experiences, knowledge, and toolkits of innovative practices based on international norms and standards can we amplify our impact and help advance progress towards the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. In closing, let me once again thank our speakers and also the hosts, UNOSSC and CICETE, for designing and facilitating this excellent session today. With dedicated, pragmatic, and forward-looking collaborations aligned to the Sustainable Development Goals, we can build a greener, more sustainable and just future for all, everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. George, for your closing remarks, which bring us to the end of today's special event. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thanks to all the speakers for sharing all the valuable experiences and local solutions with us today. Thank you.